Hello, you ladies and gentlemen. It's another fine example of... No, fuck off. Sorry.
This is the best no fuck off we've ever done.
Hello, you. It's another year and another E3, and I'm joined again by my good friend Stuart Ashen. Hello there.
Hello, you.
Hello, me.
I can't do that. I'm just hello. There we are. That's my one. How you doing?
Hello.
Hello.
Ah,
that didn't sound like me. That was weird. Hello. There we are. We got there in the end.
Yay. Huzzah. Yes.
Deary me.
But we're back for, I think it's our 6th year now.
No way.
Yes. We've been doing this 6 years. I think, actually 2011, I think our first one was. So that is 6. No, it's 7 years, isn't it? No. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15,
Yeah.
15, it's our 7th year. There you go. Shows you how long we've been doing it for. I've actually forgotten what year we've been doing it. But yeah, 7 years, mate.
Wow. For 7 years we've been blessing the world with our amazing knowledge and hot takes.
Is that a euphemism for synonym?
Yes, that's a euphemism for we don't really give a shit about most.
Yeah,
Yes.
we just look forward to. But we've been through 2 different generations now, almost a third with these with the Xbox Scorpio finally being announced.
Oh yes, yeah, and the PS. Well, I was going to say the PS4 Pro going in. Does that really count? I don't suppose it does, really, does it?
Yeah. Well, it sort of does. I suppose you can sort of. It's enhanced.
Yeah.
To an extent, but I've not really seen too much that takes advantage of it, really.
Have you got a PS4 Pro?
I have, because apparently it does PSVR a lot better. It's a lot more smoother.
That does make sense.
So,
Everybody I know with a PS4 Pro has said to not bother buying one because you basically play games and they tend to run slightly worse when they're trying to output them at 4K.
well, I've got a 1080p television at the moment, so...
Well, so have I, actually. I do have a cheap 4K one in my office, but it's, like, really cheap. Like, it probably says it's 4K, but it's actually 320 by 256 or something.
Oh, so it's upscaling.
No, yeah, I don't know, to be honest. It was so cheap, but it's a really big, impressive screen, so when I have meetings, it looks like I'm really rich. Ooh. And they don't know I bought it from Tesco for, like, £7.83.
Was it a Black Friday jobby?
No, it wasn't, actually.
Oh.
I tend to avoid the Black Friday televisions because...
You don't like going around punching middle-aged women?
Oh, no, I do that bit. I just take them back afterwards.
Yeah.
Mainly because they're always really shit televisions.
Well, that's what they do, and it's like panic buying.
Yeah. So, oh, my God, I can get this for £300. Yeah, but it's $289 yesterday. Yeah, but it's £300 today.
It's £300, and there's this enormous fat woman climbing after me to get it, so I need to buy it before she does. And she's still got her remaining teeth as well.
Just before I kick them out, I try and get hold of this Now TV box for £10 more than it usually is. Yeah. Oh dear.
Well, apart from Black Friday, this is E3, isn't it? So there you go.
This is. Yeah,
easily digressed. There.
That was a segue. We're back.
Yes, it was.
We're back in the room.
But we were talking about Microsoft, but let's start off with Nintendo's pitch or display pitch.
Let's indeed, yeah.
What did you think of that, then?
My problem is I've had to catch up with everything second-hand this year. I didn't see any of them live. But, there's a lot of interesting stuff. I've got to say, there was an undercurrent for Nintendo this year for me, which was, shit, the Switch was successful and we didn't really expect it. Just put all the old games out of the Switch.
Yeah, I know. Well, they're just doing what the like Microsoft and Sony did with their definitive editions of old games.
Fuck off, guy. Is it any machine? I mean, we laugh about Doom being playable or anything. There's going to be official releases of bloody Skyrim for calculators before too long.
And they announced 2 new versions of Skyrim, didn't they? 3, actually. 3 new versions of Skyrim this year.
What? Wait, there's a Switch one, isn't
There's
there?
a Switch edition. There's
Do we know if it's the definitive upscaled one yet, or...?
No, it's going to be a port of the 360 one.
Oh.
It won't be the PS3 version because it's completely broken, so it'll be a port. Apparently, all these Switch games are going to be ports of like the 360 versions, and the FIFA on Switch is going to be the Xbox 360 version.
Oh, God, it's going to end up like the Wii, where it's all a bloody generation behind.
Oh, it is, yeah, because Nintendo's still adamant that people like play games for fun rather than graphics, and that's not really true. That's what...
True to an extent, but it helped with the Wii to sell Wii Sports, but the problem was you got Wii Sports with it. And nobody was rushing out to buy Ninja Bread Man or a really crippled version of Force Unleashed.
So, yes, so there's 3 versions of Skyrim this year. There is the Switch version, there's the PC VR version, and there's also the PS VR version.
I didn't know they were doing a PC VR version. That's interesting.
Yes. Well, I think it's because everybody cared more about Fallout 4 VR.
Yeah,
as well.
That was quite a big thing, wasn't it?
But that's not coming out on Nintendo's system. We're supposed to be talking about Nintendo system. We already digressed twice.
We've managed to go on a tangent on the very first thing we've talked about.
Well, we talked about Black Friday earlier. So.
That's true. We managed to go off on a tangent before we'd started. That's quite impressive for us. God, so there was a surprise announcement of Metroid Prime 4.
Yes, well, there was a logo saying it's in development, so that means absolutely nothing.
Yeah, there's literally no information, no date when it'll be out. It'll be on the Switch.
Yeah. Well, it's
Thanks,
because they've been screwing up Metroid for so many years now. I mean, they got that Federation Force one, that 4-player one on the 3DS that nobody wanted, and that one on the Wii, that one with the Samus is like really miserable and stroppy all the way.
Oh, was that the last one? That's about corruption. Is that the one?
Not corruption. No, that was Prime. Metroid Other M.
Oh God, yes.
And
it's been.
And it was broken as well. It was broken as well because.
Oh, brilliant!
Yes, if you save in a certain area, the door in front of you clocks off and you can't go any further.
Fucking hell. Guys, this is quality testing day 1, please. Crikey. It's been like 10 years since Metroid Prime 3.
I know. I went in Toys R Us a couple of months ago and had a whole shelf full of them for 50p each.
Bloody hell.
Yeah.
Even I'd buy it for 50p.
I know, it's worth it for the case. It's a replacement case, isn't it? I mean,
it genuinely is, because it's one of the white wee ones.
Yeah, you can't exactly buy them, can you? So.
Good God.
That and copies of that rock band thing.
Oh. So, I went into our Toys R Us today. There was nothing like that, but there were a lot of Disney Infinity stuff less than half price.
Well, it would do. It's completely useless now.
Exactly.
You can't do anything. They're just toys now.
Yeah. Have they switched off the servers for it?
I believe they have. If you're watching this in the future, they definitely have. But
if you're listening to this in the year 3000,
yes. When they're about to announce the PlayStation 7 or something, and yeah, they definitely shut them off now. But yeah.
As you said, it's just here's a logo, enjoy. So, not the most exciting of things. But I was more excited by the Metroid 2 remake for the 3DS.
So they cancelled the fan one. Well, they didn't. They C&D'd it, didn't they, for this one? Oh, that's quite interesting. I mean, if they had a brain, they'd just hired the bloke who'd done the fan one and sort of slap that out. Really, that'll save them money. Somebody offers you to make a game for free, you should pick up on it rather than threaten to sue them.
That's Nintendo for you. They are the worst people to deal with. The Activision and EA get all the hate, but bloody Nintendo, man, they are a nightmare to deal with at any level, aren't they? Especially if you're on YouTube, where they'll nuke your bloody video from orbit because you happen to show 2 seconds of bloody Zelda in the background.
Yes. Like a nanosecond of Mario's moustache.
Yeah, that's it. Your life now belongs to them. They burn your house down with your kids in it. The work.
Even poor old DSP's getting the pinch for that. He can't. He gets slapped by copyrights for it, and he's so upset by it. He wants to open a Nintendo channel now, just to upload Nintendo footage. And I suggested to him he should call it DSP NES.
It took me a second, that one.
Oh
God.
So
I'm quite like the idea of that. I do love Castlevania. I never really got into the Metroid stuff, but I should have a bash at it.
Oh, okay, it's quite good. It's basically a bit of a but it's like Castlevania with sort of aliens, really.
Yeah, that's always how it's looked.
So yeah, no, it's quite. I like Metroid, sort of. So that is well worth it. What else did Nintendo do? Well, they've also got Splatoon 2 coming out, which everybody knew about.
To just be Splatoon.
I know, it's the Splatoon one with more maps.
Yeah.
And they also completely missed out the promotional thing and calling it Splatoon.
Oh, if this was the 90s, it'd have been all over that.
Yeah, and they would put and they spelt with a K as well.
Yeah. A picture of a chicken in it for no reason whatsoever.
And the main character's not got the gun. He's not got the gun out. He's sitting there with his arms crossed. looking miserable.
Yeah, that is the 90s look.
Because he's totally proactive, in-your-face attitude.
Yep. And whenever he's not on screen, people should be saying, "Where's Poochie gone?"
Such a paradigm.
Oh, dear. But yeah, Splatoon, it just looks exactly like Splatoon with some extra maps, frankly, as you said. So, yeah, it'll be a nice thing to play portably, maybe. The weakness is that the battery's not great.
Yeah, I know that.
Switch.
They're so hyping it up to be this massive, like, external game playing thing you can play on the go and that, but they never mentioned the battery only lasts about 2.5 hours.
Close to bloody 2 when I was playing Zelda. Also, something that really frustrated me that I didn't discover till after I'd done my review video. I've got one of those ones where the left control Joy-Con thing just constantly disconnects from the base.
Oh, wow.
So you can't really use it when it's docked. I didn't know at first because when I was testing it, I was really close to the dock. But then I moved a little bit further back, not that much further back, for sort of standard use. And yeah, that was the end of that.
So have they got any suggestions to how to fix that?
You're fucked because it's hardware. I think they fixed it in later models or something.
Oh, okay. So they could do a recall then.
Get in touch with them and demand another one or something.
Yeah, don't you know who I am?
Yes. I once ate a funny egg. Fix my Switch. But to be honest, it's something I think I'll play handheld.
I destroyed the pop station market. I could destroy you too.
Next, Funko Pops. Oh dear. But yeah, they announced some DLC for Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, it's just I do like the best part of Zelda for me was that one where you go to that island and you've got nothing and you've got to survive.
That was cool. Yes.
That was brilliant. So I think that's one of the things where he puts the sword back in. I saw and he does that. So they need to do a proper survival game like that, or whole Zelda now. I think that would work really well. I really enjoyed that bit.
I fucking loved the exploration and the looking round in Zelda. I thought it was fantastic. But then you get back into the plot of it and you're like, oh, I've completed the game in 23 seconds.
Yeah.
Like, great. You know, you get to the end castle, and I hadn't even done all the side quests, but I was so overpowered, it was absolutely no challenge whatsoever. Also, it's very hard to die in that game. The enemies can sort of one-shot you, but as long as you're at least vaguely careful, they never really hit you, do they?
No. It's one of those games where it's tough at the beginning, and sort of as soon as you get into the further you get, it's easier it gets, which is completely it's like arse backwards for a video game, shouldn't it? It should be more harder the further you get.
Yeah, that is a thing with modern games. Skyrim actually being a fantastic example of where you can just sort of complete it by just playing it. You don't ever have to get better at it. Whereas I've been playing lots of bloody Dark Souls and Bloodborne over the years. Maybe that's why I found it easy, because I was so fucking careful with everything for that reason.
Well, that final boss fight, after it's finished, you know, you kill half of him when you get all the other towers shooting him, so half his energy's on.
Yeah.
And all I'd done was just completely just eat continuously and that. So I've got so many... It's one of those games where you save up potions and that because you think there's going to be some big boss battle later on that you're going to need them all. And you've got so many of the bloody things by the end of the game. You could be bloody swimming in this stuff. And
I did exactly the same thing. I also realised halfway through that pretty much everything you cook is useless apart from sticking the hearty things in which give you loads of hearts.
Yeah.
And when I worked that out, I was like, oh, I'm just going to make those then. the whole system's kind of pointless, actually.
Exactly. And there's also a cheat that you can sort of climb infinitely as well by doing that.
Is there?
Yeah. A glitch. Well, it's not a glitch.
Well, you just keep eating stamina.
Yeah, you keep eating stamina stuff. And you just you could climb up infinitely, really.
I suppose you can, really, can't you? Yeah. You just got to be able to find the ingredients for the stamina bits, which isn't exactly hard.
No, I think the bananas, isn't it, one of them? And they're quite easy to find.
One, wasn't it? Yeah, and
we just go into that
greens or something. Anyway, nobody seems to care much about the DLC, possibly for that reason.
What they need is to do a whole new island and stuff like that, a whole new area or something, or perhaps do a thing where you play from a different character's perspective or something, like playing like a prequel from Zelda or something, trying to fight.
That's it. Somebody a bit less powered, so you have that feeling of when you were stuck on the island without your gear.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
I'm surprised
doing it.
Nintendo trying to shove Mr. Tingle down our throat or something again, and they always do.
That's what I want, Tingle Adventures.
Yeah, Tingle, yes.
I want nothing but Tingle from now on. They've also announced a new Yoshi game and a new Kirby game, haven't they?
Oh, there you go. That's unexpected.
Yeah. Are there details about either of those, or was it just a very high level, we are making a game?
Yeah. I didn't really pay attention. It's I'm not really into Kirby games because, I'm not 4. But
hey, who knows when you'll be 4 again? Then?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. What were these crazy new laws coming into effect? They might affect the laws of physics and time itself or something.
Yeah, Kirby and Yoshi, but I didn't get any details on those. I don't know if I missed something, but it did just seem to be a bit like Metroid Prime 4, Yeah. We are doing a game, enjoy.
Yes, I think everybody was just looking forward to that. Hopefully they might mention the new Smash Brothers or something. Or Smash Brothers Deluxe with 2 extra characters.
Oh, God. Yeah, they really are getting more and more similar as time is going on, aren't they? That new Pokemon game announced for Switch as well, wasn't there?
Oh, yes.
Again, I don't know any details.
Are you a Pokemon fan?
No, I was a bit old. I did buy Pokemon Blue and sort of started to play it, but I never really got into it.
Yeah, same. I bought Pokemon Yellow.
I was a little bit before. It was before it was big, actually. Somebody said, you really got to try this Japanese game.
I've played Pokemon before it was cool.
When I had my long beard and my shorts, I walked up to the shop with my vinyl record player portable on my shoulder and said, and it became sort of a really big thing when I had it, but it just didn't... It never quite clicked for me. I think I was just too old, unfortunately. I was more of a Card Fighters Clash man on the Neo Geo Pocket. Which is a fantastic game if you ever get a chance to play it. I think there's a DS version. Sure there is, actually. And I think it's horribly bugged, if I recall. Anyway, I'm trying to remember things from years ago. Wow. So new Pokemon for the Switch, but don't know much details. And Fire Emblem Warriors.
Ooh, so basically that's Hyrule Warriors with Fire Emblem.
Yeah, it looks really similar to Dynasty Wars. But...
well, it is.
With more... Oh, it actually is it?
It is, literally is, yes. Or they call it Mushu in Japan. All the games are called Mushu, the Mushu series. So can you be, what's his name, Yubu or whatever, who's overpowered? Really Lubu.
Lubu, that's him.
Yes.
Blimey, they've produced that for nearly everything now, haven't they?
Pretty much so. They got Gundam, Fist of the North Star. Attack on Titan is based on it. It's not an official yet. I don't know. They got pretty much everything. Granger.
Yep. People Larry's dad went to school with, Warriors. Just every single person who's ever lived in the history of the world now has their own Dynasty Warriors game. So that's going to be more of the same, isn't it? And Rocket League coming out as well.
Yes, and you could be able to play people on Xbox One on it.
See, this is good. We need some more cross-format stuff.
Crossover, unless you've got a PlayStation, because Sony says no, the stakeholders don't see the point in it. So
what a bunch of...
Exactly, so they're taking their ball and going home because they don't want the other children to play with it.
Oh, that's pathetic, isn't it?
Exactly.
They're the ones who started it with bloody cross-PC and PS3 as well.
Yeah, you could play Portal 2 co-op with somebody on PC and stuff.
Yeah, I remember buying it for PS3 and then just using the code in it for the PC version.
Yeah, that's what I did. Yeah.
God, and then sold the PS3 version. It was a really cheap way of getting Portal 2.
Free go. Now they just give it away with everything now. Portal 2. Yeah.
And of course, the big news. They've revealed a bit more about Super Mario Odyssey. Which is that you can throw your hat at people or animals and then possess them.
Ooh.
So if you get a frog to wear your hat, you become the frog. This raises a lot of questions. Is Mario actually human, or is Mario the hat? And it's just taken over this body.
It's a sort of deformed Italian it found one day and stuff.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, 'cause I thought everybody in Mario's world looked like him. But now in this latest game, he goes over to like a Grand Theft Auto-style world with people with standard proportions.
Yeah. And even more confusing, the mayor of that city is Pauline, the girl from Donkey Kong that he used to rescue. So he is part of that world, but he's not.
So what is he?
I don't know.
He's not human. He is some sort of homunculus that's been made up by the hat. This is my new theory. Mario's hat is actually Mario. and the hat is Bob Hoskins. I don't know.
It's good to possess.
When he died, he gave up his earthly form and became the hat full time.
It became a Cockney hat.
That's what it should have been called. Not Super Mario Odyssey, but Super Mario Cockney Hat Adventures.
I wanted a beanie and a pearly king. And
every time you lose a life, you fucking muppet.
Let's have an argument. He sees Bowser. Shut it, you slag.
Get Luigi on the blower. We're going to sort this out.
Come down here, Luigi. I'll give you a slap.
You wanker. Oh, dear. But other than that, yeah, that game looks fucking weird, I've got to say. It looks fun, but that does raise a lot of questions you shouldn't be thinking about. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, when you're thinking about what this doesn't make sense, I mean, it's just take you out the game, as it were.
Yeah. But there we are. It looks like it's going to be fun, and they have had a lot of the Mario stuff. Super Mario Galaxy and all that has been pretty fucking good, isn't it?
I mean, I think the 3D worlds are a bit. They're not very creative as well.
Yeah, that Grand Theft Auto-y one. I know I keep going back to. It just looked not only a bit sort of off, but a bit dull as well.
What's this Grand Theft Auto-y one you're talking about?
But it's just kind of the real world that he goes to.
Oh, New Donk City.
That's it. Yeah, where Pauline's in charge. But it kind of, I don't know, it just does look like it's out of Grand Theft Auto 3 or something, you know. As long as you can go along in your Vice City car and listen to 80s music, it'll be absolutely fine. Also, throw your hat at your car and then take it over.
So has he got power-ups to run over prostitutes with in this game? So.
Definitely. That's Nintendo's new thing. They can see no problems with that being family-friendly at all.
Well, some people are already upset with it because he wears a sombrero when he sings.
What? Who gives a shit what hat he wears? Unless he is the hat.
So many conspiracies. Maybe he murdered Luigi and Luigi's a hat, and it's like...
Maybe Luigi never existed and is just like his conscience haunting him, like in Fight Club or something.
I was thinking maybe it's like a sort of American Werewolf in London, where he's his dead best friend.
Every time Luigi comes up in the game, he's progressively more rotten.
Yes.
Until he just looks like a dry bones or something.
It's a skeleton with a green hat.
Doesn't matter, he was the hat all along. Oh, God.
And he gets to sleep with Jenny Agarton halfway through.
Oh, yes. And then everybody on VHS keeps rewinding to the shower sequence.
Yeah.
That's our incredibly badly misjudged American Werewolf in London jokes that 99% of the audience won't understand.
Well, 99% of the audience probably haven't seen the film. They haven't even seen a crappy sequel.
Yeah, oh, God, I've never seen that. American Werewolf in Paris, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, that seemed kind of pointless. Somebody wanted a free trip to Paris. I think that's what that was about. God. Anyway, I think that's it from Nintendo, isn't it?
It is, yes. So Bob Hoskins and American Werewolf in London.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That was their big announcement. They're remaking American Werewolf in London with Bob Hoskins using CGI. Yeah.
No, he's actually the zombie in it.
He's all the characters, including Jenny Agarton. Yes. Oh dear, but yeah, basically it's just we're making some games for the Switch, but they're so early we haven't got anything to show you. So they could be years off. They might not be released until like the next console comes along.
Especially if they're Sony and that, they show you a game. It's not out for bloody 3-4 years. Now, get fed up
Guardian,
with that.
anyone?
Yeah, well, 10.
Yeah. Wasn't that going to be a PS3 launch title or something ridiculous?
I think it was middle of the PS3 launch, but it's one of those games that you can see why Sony wanted to cancel it several times. I think that was my biggest disappointment last year.
Oh.
I didn't really get on with it. But they're remaking Shadow of the Colossus. So.
I did hear that, yes.
And that's coming out next year, so it all that. Expecting
Bloody
10 years
hell.
to make one game, like 6 months to remake another.
But let's segue into Sony, and then we can keep talking about, the Shadow of the Colossus remake. Interesting.
I know, that came out of nowhere, didn't it?
Yeah, because, I mean, they've already done a bloody PS3 remaster, didn't they? Well, I say remaster, they basically...
Well, it's upscaled. Really. Well, the PS2 version did have HD capabilities in it anyway.
Oh, that's interesting.
It's only 720p or 480p, I think it was.
Still impressive for the time.
So, yeah, it's one of those ones, one of the few games that took advantage of the component lead.
Oh, my God.
You could get for it. Yes, so it's been it's been made by Blue Point Games, who did the remake, upscaled ones of Uncharted.
They were quite good, weren't they? That's
so
interesting. Be interesting to see how that comes out. Is it, see if it's just a case of we gave it a few more polygons and upgraded the textures, or, are they going to...
What, Shadow Colossus? No, it looks like a completely overhaul.
I wonder if they'll refine any of the gameplay stuff as well.
Well, I'm hoping they'll put in some of the deleted Colossi. Because have you ever seen like the book of it?
Oh God, yes!
And it's got like a big spider one and the monkey one that hangs from the ceiling.
That would be brilliant.
So I was hoping they'd do that, because apparently the original game was supposed to have 32 in there.
Good God.
So almost double.
Bloody hell, I never knew that.
Yeah. Well, and the map is still catered for them as well, which is weird. There's areas in the map that's like really, really nicely made, and there's nothing there.
Ah, that explains that. Yeah.
And that's where they were supposed to be, so I'm hoping they'll put them back in.
That's interesting that such a well-regarded game is kind of incomplete.
It depends by your definition of incomplete. I mean, I think he'd put it to a point where said it's going to take another year or so to get it out, but it's good enough as it is.
Yeah.
I mean, if it was a PS3 game, they'd probably done DLC for these extra Colossi.
Oh God, yes. I hope they don't do that this time. Christ.
No,
excuse for some nickel and diming on the old microtransactions.
Yes.
I always feel Dark Souls was a bit like that. A couple of the areas are quite obviously unfinished. Demon Ruins and Lost Izalith. It's quite obvious if they'd had a bit more time, they wouldn't have just basically stuck in these small areas with repeated enemies. But there we are. Shadow of the Colossus seemed like far more of a whole thing to me.
Were you a fan of it?
Yeah, it's really good. It's something about the atmosphere of it as well.
Well, it's just because it's a lot of exploration, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
As well.
And the sort of weird giant colossi, which are never really framed as bad guys, particularly, are they?
No, they're not. You'll go around killing them. They're just minding their own business, aren't they?
Yeah, literally so. But no, you have to go along in order to get to the end sequence, which shows Ico being born, if I remember.
That's what the theory is. They've never officially said it is, but yeah, I think it feels like a prequel.
Yeah, I mean the kid has a horn in the same place as Ico, doesn't he? So I think that's ruined it for anybody who hasn't played it. So
yes, apart from spoiling. Have you played the Surge yet as well?
No, I've not played the Surge.
Oh, I thought you'd be well into that. Well, it's basically technological Dark Souls.
Yes, yeah, it does kind of look like that, but I don't know. I've played a lot of Dark Souls and Bloodborne over these. In fact, I'm quite glad that FromSoft haven't revealed anything new yet. I think I could do with some time off to play other stuff. Do you know what I mean? Before I get sick of it.
It's made by Lords of the Fallen.
Oh, the very slow, sort of slightly clunky.
Yeah, the clunky one that you can actually kill everyone by just using your shield. Yeah.
Yeah. Slightly flawed, one could argue.
A little bit, but I think they learnt their lessons from this. But I think everybody and their mother wants to make a bloody Dark Souls type game now.
Yeah, it's very rarely going to work out. I think it's something there's not a lot of room for as well. Do you know what I mean? Nobody wants 100 bloody Dark Souls copies. But
yeah, I mean you've got Bloodborne and you've now got the Surge as well. So I mean it's nice they went for a different genre, not genre, sort of style. What am I talking about? What's the proper word I'm looking for here? Theme.
Theme, yes.
Yeah, theme. Yeah.
Because, I mean, FromSoft have only ever done the medieval stuff.
Yeah.
Other than Bloodborne, which obviously is the Victorian.
Well, even now doing King's Field. I mean, that was still...
Oh, yeah. So very medievally. But it'd be interesting to see what they would do next. I mean, Cyber Souls would now be perhaps a bit too similar to the Surge.
Well, they don't care. I mean, they ripped them off. We ripped them off, right?
So, well, yeah, that's true. Actually, yes, and they'd probably be well into development anyway, so too late to turn the ship around. Yeah. But the super exciting Sony news: the game everybody's been waiting for, Knack 2.
Knack harder.
Yeah. Knack hard with a vengeance. Who the fuck wants a sequel to Knack?
Exactly. That's how Mark Cern's bloody neuroticism there, isn't it? Well, it sold loads the original one. That's because it was the only bloody game out at the time.
Yeah, a really disappointing launch title. Yeah, it's just... I can't even begin to fathom that one.
Well, Knack was crap because it felt like a movie license, didn't it? It felt like a license to a movie that doesn't exist.
That's a really good description. Yeah, it is just, let's go through the numbers, and it's a bit of a platformer, and it's kind of easy for the kids, and it's got all the little men they like in their cartoon show. Except there isn't a cartoon show.
Yeah.
You know, it's... Yeah. Absolute tut, that game. God. But they have announced a new Crash Bandicoot at last.
What, is it a new one, or is it a remake of the...
Oh, God, is it a remake?
It's a remake of the first three Crash Bandicoots or something.
Oh, I thought it was a bloody new one.
Oh, you should be so lucky. No. It's just a... They announced it last year as well. They were working on it. But yeah, it's going to be Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy, I think it's called.
Well, we can play those games already. They're years old.
Yeah, I know that. But don't they want you to play them in 4K HD and
pay for them
slightly more
again.
Polished? Yeah.
It's what they really want, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's disappointing.
So also, why go to the effort of making a brand new game where you can just play ones you played 20 years ago?
Yeah, because any gamers under 20 won't have played them.
Yeah.
God. Bringing Undertale to PS4 as well, aren't they?
That is different. Yes, I'm surprised about that. I thought it'd be like a digital-only sort of game as well.
And for the Vita.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
that was the only time I heard the Vita mentioned, actually.
Yes. Yeah, do you remember that?
Yeah. Yeah, we don't. Yeah.
And it's a third-party game, isn't it? It's not even a first-party game.
Yeah. I still haven't played Undertale. I really must. Everybody goes on about it.
Oh, why? It's just bloody... It's like... because they got bored of Five Nights at Freddy's, that's why. And I want something else to talk about now.
I did buy it on a Steam sale for like 37 pence or something. So.
What, Undertale or Five Nights at Freddy's?
Undertale.
Oh, okay.
Never done Five Nights at Freddy's. Never appealed.
No, well, it's just I don't like jump scares, really. It's just a bit annoying after a while.
Yeah. And it's also one of those things when you see every bloody YouTube person in the world doing 45 videos on it, it kind of puts you off, doesn't it?
And sort of screaming as well.
Yeah.
10 here you
Don't
go.
forget to like and subscribe. It's your boy 40 Potato 73.
Here you go, yeah. I'm giving away a $5 Amazon token.
Oh God, I'd forgotten that. Yeah. Hey guys, let's see if we can get this video to 10,000 likes. Yeah.
All you need to do is subscribe and leave in the comments. You're a piece of shit. Why am I watching this shit?
God. Anybody who describes themselves as your boy.
Yeah.
What we need to do is find out who said it first, and they're allowed to say it, and everybody else who says it gets killed immediately. Snipers in every town centre. Shoot them through the chin. Oh dear. Undertale. Oh, no, this was more interesting, I thought. Monster Hunter World.
Yeah. That's because Capcom have finally realised that nobody gives a shit about Nintendo Online in the West, so they want to bring it to a system that people actually play online now. So
the last Monster Hunter came for Sony was PS3, wasn't it? And I think
PSP.
Yes, it was. There was a PS3 one, wasn't it? But wasn't it Japan only or something?
PSP, I said.
Yeah. Yes, I know there's a PSP.
Oh, okay.
There was a PS3 Monster Hunter, wasn't there?
I wouldn't know. I find it a bit boring, that series, to be honest.
I've never really played it. It always sort of appealed, but it's always on fucking 3DS, which just doesn't seem to have the power behind it to do the game justice.
No. It's one of those games that you need to play with people as well, play co-op with people as well, and to take down some of these monsters. Otherwise, you're just sort of killing the same lot of Velociraptor every time.
Oh, I didn't realise that. I might have a look into that when it comes out on PS4. Which reminds me, I must get round to playing Horizon Zero Dawn.
Ooh, yes, I've been playing that a little bit.
Is it as good as people say?
Well, it's like if you've played Breath of the Wild, you've definitely got a taste of what this is about.
That sounds fairly positive.
It's a more enclosed map. It's more but it's a lot prettier, obviously, because PlayStation's a lot more powerful.
I quite like the idea of the robot dinosaurs and stuff. Just looks cool as well.
Yeah, it's a novel concept.
Terrible title, though. It means nothing, does it?
No.
Literally nothing. Here's some cool words. Enjoy.
Yeah, it just basically sounds like a BBC documentary series or anything.
About a woman called Dawn, who they don't like.
Yeah. The scientists who invented things.
There were no things until they were invented. Then there were many things. There we are. We could write these.
Yeah.
Give us a call, Auntie Beeb.
Here's Heinz Wilderson. He is a 57-year-old scientist, and he lives with his parents. And today he's invented a machine that invents toilet roll. He's invented a the everlasting toilet roll. There you go.
Well, that's useful. Unfortunately, it's made out of dead babies, which is very much causing ethical problems in the community. He sent it for peer review, and people weren't pleased. Oh dear. I'm going to tell you a small anecdote now. The BBC got in touch with me because they're doing some stuff about that microbit computer they've got.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
It's their version of the Pi, is it?
Yeah, basically. Piggying back on the old BBC Micro stuff from the 80s. But it's more sort of programming led. So I think it's quite a really good sort of idea. And they said, we're doing a promotional video for it. So do you want to be in it as one of the supply teachers? And the idea is the supply... You get this. The supply teachers are being replaced basically by robots the kids have made out of the microbit stuff. I thought, that sounds like fun. I do quite like the microbit idea. So I was like, yeah, I'll do that.
I do like the idea of wearing a tweed jacket.
Yes, tweed jacket with leather patches on the elbows, obviously. Yeah. So I was like, I'm up for that. I do a lot of promotional stuff. It's a good cause. That's quite nice. Then I got an email a couple of days later saying, sorry, all the supply teachers have been replaced with the robots from Robot Wars and the Cybermen. And I was like, oh, well, that's the end of that then. So I had my job taken away by Sir Killalot.
Yeah.
If you like, you can come and make a making of documentary about our video you can put on your channel. I'm like, why would I do like a big promotional piece of work for a video? How's that going to fit on my channel? Why would I? That's a different conversation, guys. But yeah.
It involves money.
Yes, it bloody would, that kind of thing. Yeah. Christ. But yeah, there we are.
Oh,
that's a shame. Don't get to wear a tweed jacket because Sir Killalot's going to be wearing it instead.
You got upstaged by Matilda.
I literally probably shunt, actually. Or even worse, Refbot. He doesn't kind of exist now, does he? But...
You'd have to get your cousin on him, won't you?
Yeah, Ian. He'll come in with Thermidor too,
and
fall down a hole probably. Oh dear, God Almighty! I still haven't watched season 2 of the new Robot Wars.
No. I don't think it's gonna. I really like Craig Charles doing it. I didn't think it was as good doing Dara O'Brien. Also, Dara O'Brien's on every single bloody thing now on BBC.
See,
he's like
the
BBC
season.
Ant and Deck. He is. All rolled into one bald Irishman.
I did really like season 1, but I do agree that Dara O'Brien is on everything. I mean, you can't argue with that, really. I remember when they announced to go 8-bit, I was like, oh, is Dara O'Brien gonna... And yeah, he is, yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's okay. Okay, then. Thanks, guys. Anyway, he's also now the god of war, apparently, so that's something to look forward to. Oh, dear. So, yeah, they're a little bit more seen on God of War, which is now... It's odd that it's now based on Norse mythology rather than the Greek, isn't it?
Well, they ran out of Greek mythology, really.
Yeah, killed them all, basically.
Yeah, I mean they could possibly have gone into Roman gods, but I think they're not as popular as Greek.
Yeah, that's an odd one that they did. I would have gone Roman above Norse. Or did they go... Hang on, I've confused myself now. Did they...
No, it's definitely Greek. It's definitely Greek.
Oh, it was Greek originally, yeah, but the new one's going to be Norse, isn't it? like Viking stuff. I've
Just
just
trying to-
confused myself.
Hopefully they've got enough gods left over from the ones that Marvel have copyrighted. So.
Yes, yeah. Can't have Thor. Can't have Odin.
Loki.
The problem is the God of War is Ares, isn't it? And Wonder Woman just killed him. So.
Well, I think he killed Ares as well, didn't he?
Did he? I'm
think
bloody
so.
confused now.
I can't remember.
I'm not very good on this God of War.
Or is that Athena he killed?
Ah.
I can't remember. No, I don't. I've not really played him.
No, I've not either. The only thing I've played like that was Dante's Inferno. I didn't realise it was just a substandard rip-off of God of War. I should have played that instead.
Yeah. Oh. Was it? No, it was another one like it as well. It was sort of like the Devil May Cry, sort of bit like that as well. Actually, they'd done it before God of War, didn't they? Devil May Cry.
I believe they did. Yeah, I think it did come out a little bit before, didn't it? I can never get on with Devil May Cry. I just seem to be ramming down all the buttons for shooting constantly, and my fingers are dropping
It's sort
off.
of your thumbs get tired, don't they, after about 10 minutes?
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
it's a bit like Batman as well, Arkham City, when you're doing the fighting scenes. You just,
Or even worse, in the first Arkham Asylum, we have to pull off the grates all the time. It's just like, tap the A button to pull the grate. Oh, for God's sake!
yeah. You think he's Batman? You think he'd come along with a little blowtorch, wouldn't you? Really?
Or just pull them off easier, as he did in
Yeah.
later games.
Or
But, oh.
buy himself a crowbar. Yeah.
So speaking of Arkham Asylum games, the new Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Is
Spider-Man Arkham City. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought it was going to be based on the new film Homecoming when I first saw it, but it's not at all, is it?
Obviously, it's either because of the sort of the crossover with Disney that they're not doing it. You know,
that'll
the
be
Disney
it.
characters.
Because it's now, more Marvel than Sony, so to speak, isn't
Yeah.
it? So
That or the plot is a bit thin, and they thought it was shit. Also, it's a different. It's the Black Spider-Man, isn't it? They're doing for the game.
is it?
And
Oh,
it's-
Miles
yeah.
Morales.
Yes.
Oh, good. So I'm fucking sick of Peter Parker because he's been rebooted every 14 seconds for the last 28 years. So, that's positive. Good. That's something a bit different, at least. Plus, they seem to have finally recaptured the bloody Spider-Man 2 web swinging, which is the one everybody always goes back to. But that was the most fun.
I don't know. I quite enjoyed the PS1 one. That was quite fun.
Oh my god, that was a good game. That came out of nowhere at the time, didn't it? It's always the Spider-Man 2 movie one they always talk about for the actual mechanic of getting around the place. My only worry is, much like the Arkham games, did seem to be a lot of QuickTime events in the videos.
Yeah, I know. Problem with QuickTime events is they're things that they want you to do in the game that they can't really program properly, or they don't trust you enough to do them properly.
That's exactly it.
I mean,
Press these two buttons and Spider-Man will do something cool, which in fact you haven't learned how to do and haven't earned anyway, so it doesn't really mean anything.
Yeah, it's just if you can press the buttons in time or
Yeah,
quick enough.
it's basically Dragon's Lair, isn't it?
Yeah.
Look at some cool animation after you've pressed a couple of directions.
I mean, it's sort of done the cool. He does the thing where Spider-Man doesn't kill anyone as well, like Batman.
Ah.
He goes out of his way not to kill anyone in the Arkham games, unless on the side of a building they can punch them off, and they sort of gloss over that bit.
And you can get their heads trapped under the wheels of the Batmobile and stuff like that. But other than these small problems, Batman never hurts a fly.
Never kills. He's got broken his neck and he'll never be able to walk again. But he's not dead.
Yes. Oh, it's just reversed over its head again.
Yeah, it's going to be in a vegetative state for the rest of eternity. But he's not dead. He's not dead.
It'd be far kinder on him if he was dead. So he does nothing now but feel pain and drool. But thanks, Batman. That'll teach him from working for the Joker.
Oh.
Who the hell would
Joker's...
work for the Joker anyway? How do you get paid?
I don't know. Maybe you get paid in sort of. I don't know.
Laughs.
He laughs. Yeah, he's doing his comedy routine. So...
Oh god. We touched on earlier Skyrim on the PlayStation VR.
Yes.
So that's going to be like the VR for PC, but not as impressive, I suppose.
I've seen. Did you see the footage of it yet?
I haven't. No.
It's got the same problem with most PSVR games. That anything technologically sort of advanced, it just looks like a PS2 game. So.
Let's face it, the combat was... Well, I suppose it'll work in VR, because it was just kind of waving your sword like a feather duster in all the Elder Scrolls games, really, wasn't it? Well, yeah. They're just furthering their plan to get Skyrim on every digital device in the universe, I think.
You'll be getting it on toasters next week.
Yep, toasters. Nintendo Power Club version. It's going to be fantastic. God. A new Uncharted, isn't there?
Well, it's DLC for Uncharted 4, really.
Oh.
But it's a standalone DLC, so you don't have to own the original game. It's a bit like that one they did for The Last of Us.
Oh, I didn't realise that. Probably got hit by a clickbaity title on that one.
Yeah, because what's his name? Nathan's not in it. Nathan Drake's not in it at all. Well, if he is, he's only in it like a slight cameo or something. But yeah, a walk-on part.
And the main character instead is Tingle.
Yes. it's just like some guy who wants to really be Nathan. Like.
Oh God. Now there was something new I spotted. Matterfall.
I have. This is news to me.
Yeah, it's like a platform shooter where you have to make and remove platforms while you're going. It looks very much like a Steam indie game. I mean, very, very much.
Probably is. I just bought it or something. And...
I never even thought of that. I'm actually going to look for it on Steam as we speak. But it had that look of something that's like £12 and then is reduced to £3.50 in the sale. You know?
Yeah, get it as part of the Humble Bundle.
So, oh god, yes, that's the more modern version.
It's the game. It's this month in games. No one gives a shit about bundles.
But it's the slightly expensive one, so you have to pay the average or above to unlock it.
Yeah. I don't really, so I only want it for that one game. Why do I pay that more?
Oh no, I'm searching for it in my library. I don't actually own it. Let's have a look.
You actually? Oh, okay.
Oh, Xcom 2 is cheap. I bought that months ago and I haven't had a chance to play it yet.
Oh, that's good. Apparently you said you were really good at that.
Oh, I loved Xcom, the first one. Yeah.
You used to play it on the Xbox 360 or something, wasn't it?
No, I used to play the PC version of Xcom.
Oh, okay.
I got really good at the multiplayer. Well, to be honest, it wasn't a hard multiplayer to get good at because most people playing it were a bit daft. They were all sort of playing this sort of meta thing and not actually thinking very well, strategy-wise. So every single time I won, I would always get abusive messages like, well, of course you win if you pick X character and Y character. And then the next game I'd pick a different character and they'd say, well, of course you win if you pick those two. It doesn't matter what you picked. They would always say, well, you only won because you picked them.
Oh.
It's like, no, it's because you're not actually thinking. You're just... somebody's told you this is a good thing to do, and you're not being reactive at all. I love some turn-based strategy, though.
Well, that's good. So, but you ever got into the new Halo thing too?
Oh God, no!
Halo Wars.
That looks more real-time stuff, and I briefly played the first one, but it was kind of shitey. It just did nothing for me whatsoever, really.
Yeah, it sort of discounted like £3 when I got it. I got a Steelbook edition for like £3, I remember.
Oh.
Didn't play it.
Do you own any Steelbooks which haven't become dented over time?
Well, yes. Well, if you order them from Game, they dent them for you. So.
But what is it about Steelbooks, though? You could keep it in like 40 tons of bubble wrap in like the bloody... restricted section of the Louvre or something, and then when you went to get it, it would be dented.
Well, it's especially sort of the force of your eye looking at it, sort of the pressure from your eyeball staring at it, sort of dents it.
I'm going to complain now. I ordered something from Play.com, right, which I know is a huge mistake.
I didn't know they still exist.
Kind of do. It's a part of Rakuten or whatever. But I bought it from their eBay site, and it was some special edition of Just Cause 4. 3, Just Cause 4 doesn't exist, so it probably wasn't that.
Yeah.
And it comes with like a toy or display grappling hook thing. And it was like £20 with all that.
I remember this. I remember you telling me this. I remember you telling me you were ordering it.
Yes. Yeah, no, absolutely. Because, I do videos on them, and plus it means you get the game for virtually nothing, it's all good. So I ordered it, and thought, it'll be all right, because Play traditionally not great, but it'll be okay. And it took bloody ages to arrive, so long that I actually kind of forgot about it. And I suddenly got a thing through the door, you're owed money or customs charge or something, can you come to the delivery office and pay it? So I'm like, oh God, okay. So I was waiting for something, I thought they obviously haven't done it right. Yeah, so I went up to the thing, paid the money, and they gave me the package, which was far bigger than I thought it was. I thought, that's odd. It's so big. Then I picked it up and it was really light. I thought, this isn't what I thought it was. And then the guy behind the counter said, yeah, no postage on that whatsoever. Very rare you see that. They've totally forgotten to postage or frank it. And I was like, what? What? I thought it was custom. What? I hadn't looked into it properly. And I just had this horrible sudden realisation. This is that bloody Just Cause 3, isn't it? I thought it can't be. The box is too big. Carried it all the way home. And sure enough, massive box inside is Just Cause 3. And they totally forgot to put postage on the box. So I had to pay 16 quid because they'd put the recorded delivery sticker on and no postage. And obviously, they then pay you the maximum rate as opposed to the business rate that they would have charged them. So I got in touch with them and said, you didn't put postage on the box. And they were like, well, you should have picked it up then. And I'm like, well, yeah, but I was expecting something else.
Yeah, you didn't know what it was.
Like,
yeah.
Oh, you shouldn't have done that. And there's no reason it'd be 16 quid anyway. So I was like, well, there is a reason it would be 60 quid. Look at their website. That's how much it would cost because you put it in a box the size of a small planet. And no, they wouldn't have any of it. Yeah. So,
oh wow! So you never got your money.
So I had to end up paying 36 for this goddamn thing. So I'm just going to slag them off constantly on every single media I have access to. I'm going to be on Newsnight next week.
And our podcast, sorry all.
But yeah, that was very frustrating. Don't buy from them; they're twats.
See if you can jump on NerdCube's next video and that.
Yes.
Dan, have you ever told about his shitty website?
He really likes Just Cause, doesn't he? So there we are. I could probably...
I'm going to say he really likes Play.com.
He actually runs it out of his shed. That would be the only excuse for him, I think. It's being run by one person.
What do you mean? No, Dan's too nice to do something like that. It could be Yogscast.
So something that really pissed me off, actually, the email, they said, yeah, it's a shame that the postage has come off the parcel, but the postage hasn't come off. Like, they're big stickers. They're really hard to peel off if you want to. Just fucking
stamps,
drop
yeah.
Anyway. Anyway, Star Child, a side-scrolling VR title.
I saw that. I thought, what's that about? It's just a bit of a platform game, then a giant robot bug sort of intimidates her, and then this big robot comes out, pushes it out of the way, and then picks her up. And I thought, oh wow, this is a platform game to rival Mario.
But it'll look really 3D. You're looking at it. This is not the way to do VR, guys. VR is supposed to be immersive.
It's a 3DS game.
I wonder if there will be a port. Seriously. But yeah. As we've said before, VR isn't about bloody looking at third-person games from a distance. It's not about traditional AAA games at all, or even perhaps games at all. It's like a slightly different thing people need to get their head around. We don't just need hide behind a rock from the big monster.
Well, I told you about that Star Blood Arena, didn't I?
Which one was that?
Well, I mentioned it on. It was a multiplayer sort of arena-based shooter for the PSVR. We're in these sort of fighting sort of spaceships in a small arena.
I remember you mentioning this. Yes.
Yeah, it was. Interesting thing. It was Maddox wrote the script.
Oh my goodness!
Quite interesting.
For early internet hero Maddox. Yeah.
Yeah, because I was complaining about how quick the prices come down for it, and he said, and he left a comment saying, I wrote the script for that.
It's probably not your fault. It's probably not the scriptwriter's fault that the price came down quickly.
It's not the best game in the universe.
Zing!
It got nobody bought it. They wanted 55 quid at launch. A day afterwards, it got dropped to 30 from 55, and 2 weeks later, it was down to 18.
Is it any good? Or is it one of those things?
I don't know. I can't find anyone to play it with. Nobody's bought it, so there's nobody to play with online.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a major problem about online-only games as well, that you need a community to be able to play it.
A few years later, they turn the servers off.
Yeah, they turn the servers off.
I have on my shelf behind me.
I wish you'd let you host your own games when the servers go down. Why can't they let you do that?
I know people hack it, but it's never the same, and you're never going to get many people on it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you get about 3 people, and they're all bloody friends anyway.
Behind me on a shelf here, I've got Age of Conan, which is now completely dead. Some sort of early Lego MMO. I can't see, it's a Lego Universe or something.
Have you got a Matrix?
I don't have the Matrix, no, but that's another one, yeah. And, I mean, while these may not have been like the most amazing games in the world, it's really sad to think that's it. They can never be experienced again. That doesn't happen in any other media, does it? It doesn't like films.
You don't bring out a movie. Yeah. Ghostbusters 1, you can't play, you can't watch it anymore.
Because it'll only run on a certain bloody DVD player or something. It's so transient, the whole sort of video game thing. 8 months after a game's released, sometimes you can't really get hold of it, except maybe you can find a second-hand copy,
Well, they had an online PC game based on Universal Monsters, and that lasted 4 months.
I never even heard of that.
Yeah, exactly. That's why it went bust. So.
But it is a shame, isn't it? There's just this stuff which it's gone.
Well, it must be heartbreaking if you spent like a year and a half of your life making
imagine
this
being
game.
one of the people who made APB. Yeah, not the 80s car driving one, but that was going to be the next big thing, and failed miserably.
Have you played the? I played it on PS4.
Oh, it's still playable then.
It depends on your definition of playable. I mean, it's got it's 20 frames a second. And it feels like an unfinished Dreamcast game.
Oh, that hurts. Oh, blimey. You talk of.
I mean, it's free, so you can have a go and have a laugh yourself.
Yes, so it does make sense when free to
play. If you want to defile your hard drive with 20 gigs of shite.
20 gigs of shite. That's the subtitle to the game. Such a shame that stuff doesn't work out, but it is just tragic that all this stuff is just lost to time. I mean, if you can't get a copy of a movie, like, Lord Buckethead was standing against Theresa May at the election, wasn't he? It's been like 20 years since he last went against John Major or whatever. And he's...
Is it the same one?
Nobody knows, because they all changed their name by deed poll to Lord Buckethead. But, he was originally standing to promote this movie Gremlins, and Gremlins is a movie you can't currently get on anything. I mean, there's like a really rare German DVD of it, and maybe you can find an old VHS. But it's one of those things people are like, my God, I can't believe you can't get hold of this movie. I know it's pretty shite, but, Whereas games, Matrix Online, gone forever. Lego Universe, gone forever. And even games with just like an online component, they're never going to be the same again. I mean,
even the online DLC that you get for free.
That's a bloody good point. And patches. Patches to fix problems and stuff.
Oh, yeah, it's impossible to sort of capture them,
you can still get your... You could buy a PS3 in 10 years on Demon's Souls, say, but you're never going to have, the ghosts of other people running around. You can't summon people in to help. It's probably going to have the bugs not patched. It is.
It's quite sad, really.
Sad. Are things that we love, and yet they are not loved by the community.
This is what you get for having such a sort of Zionist control by publishers of dictating everything that we can and can't do in a game.
Yeah, it doesn't help, does it? I mean, look at everything from the 80s. You can just get it, and it works. It's not going to happen anymore, is it? But anyway, I mean, I know it's intrinsically the nature of an online game, but as you say, there should be some method of patching it out so, Billy in Wisconsin can run his own server or something.
Yeah. I mean, you can sort of do it at PC ports. I mean, that's the closest thing you'll be able to get to playing these games after the time in the future. But the console stuff's going to be completely useless. I mean, some of these online-only games, you can't even get past the title screen. You can't even, have a try the tutorial.
Well, it's like Twisted Metal Black online.
You can play that. You can play that game now. Somebody's hacked it.
Good. I remember having a copy of that, thinking I would like to play Twisted Metal, but it's like, oh. I mean, it's bad enough trying to get the PS2 online anyway. Bloody broadband adapters and God knows what. Anyway,
yes. So that was Sony.
That was partially Sony. There are a couple of more Sony
partially
things,
Sony.
Ni no Kuni 2: Revenant Kingdom, which is the sequel to that Studio Ghibli visuals game, isn't it? Did you ever play that?
I downloaded it, but I never got around to playing it because it's a problem with RPGs is you've got to sort of commit yourself to
I did exactly the same. I bought a re-release copy for £10 for PS3, and I ended up just selling it on because I knew I'd never get around to playing it. Which is a shame.
They had it in a digital, like £3 at one point on PS3, so I got that as well.
Like Steam sale prices, isn't it? And the last one I've got is The Inpatient, which is a PSVR spin-off of Until Dawn, set 60 years before Until Dawn.
Oh, okay. Because I've got to say, it's because from people who made Rush of Blood and
this feels very different to that. Much slower and more sort of survival horror, where you're stuck in some place and presumably you've got to try and escape from some horrible clinic. A bit like that recent film, A Cure for Wellness, I suppose. Don't know. That's the sort of vibe it gave me, but there wasn't much of it to look at as ever.
Oh, yeah, they just give you enough, and it probably won't be out for another 2 years as well before we see it, probably. Oh, they had that shooting game as well, didn't they? That sort of tactical shooter game where you got to hide beside stuff. I thought it was going to be a SOCOM game, because they haven't done a SOCOM game for a couple of years now.
That's very true.
Quite well, Sony.
I didn't pick up on that.
So, yeah.
The problem is I've got no real interest in the online shooters, so I probably bloody just missed it. Do you remember what it was called?
Oh. It's 2 words, something blood or something. I don't know. It's a 2-word PSVR game anyway, and it looks a bit ropey. It looks a bit PS2y again.
That is the weakness. Oh well, on to Microsoft then, who will save us from PS2y looking games with their Scorpio, which is now called the Xbox One X. What the fuck is wrong with console manufacturers naming consoles these days?
I know. It does. It's basically they just named it after a binary code, really, haven't they? X1, X1, 1X, XX1, 1X.
That would be 0, 1, 1, 0. It's even worse.
Yeah.
God.
It's a sexy binary code.
Like BMX Triple X and those amazing games. Yeah, so it's out on November the 7th. It's going to be £449.
Yeah, just shy of 450.
And it's going to be very small, surprisingly. About the same as...
Yeah, smaller than a Slim.
Smaller
Smaller than a Slim, I heard.
That's surprising, considering the original Xbox One was slightly bigger than your house.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
And still had an external power brick. I still cannot believe, you know. Yeah, that's... I mean, it's nice.
You never did an unboxing of that, and there's like a power brick inside it already. There was one here all along.
It actually is the power brick. You don't get the Scorpio for that one.
Yeah.
Sorry, the X.
It's
it's interesting that they're releasing a...
It's just a Raspberry Pi inside. We're saying,
you just plug your existing Xbox One into it, and it lets you play 4K DVDs. That's it. Or Blu-rays, even. 4K DVD, that would be impressive. My God. Oh dear.
4K HD DVD.
God. I actually bought an HD DVD the other day.
Really? What was it? Was it King Kong?
Do you know, it wasn't actually. It was Tremors. Because it was 4 pence. And it was still sealed. Oh, wow. And it was a totally pointless purchase. I've got it on Blu-ray anyway, because it's a great film. But
so where'd you get it? How'd you get it for 4p from?
A charity shop. I think they'd had it on the shelf for so long. It was just in some thing with Rosemary Connolly VHS.
Yeah. Well, normally it was set amongst the 1990s PC CDs demo discs and that. They want 15 quid each. For
no, they were still on the expensive pile, but yeah, it's still on the sofa and everything. My God. So it's totally worthless. It's just you can't turn it down when it's a ridiculous. It wasn't even a round number. You know, I mean, you'd put it on there for 5 pence, but it was like, nope, this is 4 pence.
No.
Oh dear. Now I've got to remember if I've actually got a thing to play it on.
I bought one when they were selling off for 15 quid each.
Yes, I did as well. You could literally go to Game Station and pick them up for 15 quid, couldn't you? Yep. Yeah. Yes, I do have one. It's actually quite a useful thing because it's very universally accepted by PCs and laptops. So if you ever need to fix a PC that doesn't have a CD drive and you need a CD, it's really effective for that. But if you actually watch an HD DVD movie, apparently it sounds like you've got a Harrier jump jet in your ear hole the whole time.
Well, also, if you're really into movies that were released in 2007...
Absolutely is. I mean, if you want to see Transformers 1 followed by Jarhead, Shaun of the Dead and The Skeleton Key, Yes,
first
the
Harry
first Harry
Potter.
Potter, Batman Begins. So that's Spartacus remake, and 300 definitely, yes. And there's another one. One of the Bourne films, but I can't remember which one it is.
Bourne Identity, I think, is it?
Might well be. And The Frighteners. The Frighteners
Strange
was the
Days
other
of
one.
Back.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I've got the... what's that one? They try to animate it. They put drawings.
Oh, through a Scanner Darkly, yeah.
Fuck it, it gave me a bloody headache, that
That's
film,
interesting. I didn't know that was out on HD DVD. Ah.
Yeah. Keanu Reeves. Oh, hello, Dunk Fu.
Good for you, Keanu. Good for you.
Yeah.
I've just looked at my shelf. I have 2 other HD DVDs, right? They are...
Yeah.
No, it's
King
not
Kong?
King Kong. It is
Oh.
the Skeleton Key that I just mentioned, and An American Werewolf in London. Yes.
Starring Bob Hoskins.
My God, bloody
It's a
chances of
special
that.
edition.
Oh, I've got 3 now. Brilliant. Actually 4, because I'm sure I've got Shaun of the Dead somewhere, but it's not on the shelf.
Oh, I got Sean. Oh, I got Hot Fuzz.
Oh,
on
that's
HD DVD.
interesting. I thought that was a bit late for that. But,
The only one that seems to go quite a bit of money is Sahara, for some reason.
I remember Sahara. I've seen it. It's like a Matthew McConaughey not very good film.
Yeah, because the guy that wrote the books had a big argument with him because they were going to make it like the next Indiana Jones. And to be honest, it's the closest thing we probably have to an Uncharted movie until they actually make an Uncharted movie.
That's probably true.
So yeah, a little bit digressing again. Talking about
just because the Microsoft stuff is so interesting. But it is interesting how they've basically cut their losses on the Xbox One very quickly, haven't they?
Yeah. Well, they're sort of don't talk about Connect.
That's been totally dead.
I mentioned it once, but I think I got away with it.
Bloody hell. But yeah, to come out with a new console this early, that's interesting.
Well, they're saying it's a stopgap, but it is a next.
It's just got good backwards compatibility, basically, isn't it?
Yeah.
But there we are. Since the PS4 Pro seems to have been a disappointment for everybody who's paid money for it.
Well, it's not as powerful as it should have been, really. I mean, that's the problem, and also because they released it a year before the Scorpio, I think that was a bit of a mistake.
So I was quite happy to sort of get a PS4 Pro if it was going to, improve frame rates. This and that, and they're just like, not really. Maybe when the software comes in a bit in the future. That's a little bit disappointing.
In those games, it's
That's
quicker.
something. That's
So,
a
yes.
positive thing.
But then again, it'd be even quicker if you just put a
SDD
SDD in
entirely
it.
True, and getting cheaper and cheaper all the time. So, on the plus side, they did finally show us some footage of Crackdown 3.
Yay! Starring that bloke from the old Spice
Terry
adverts,
Crews. Yeah,
yes,
absolutely.
It's quite funny how funny how quite popular Old Spice is in America because it's like considered an old
They
man
love high
thing
karate over there as well. It is weird because it is like a joke from the 70s, isn't it? Or get your bottle of Blue Nun and a bottle of Old Spice and away you go. But
yeah, and a can of Corona for
or
the
Quattro
kids.
if you want to be really futuristic.
Yeah, I was 80s.
Oh, that is true.
Though.
Yeah, that was 80s.
What was Crotcher? Didn't it taste
It was
like
4
milk or
different
something?
fruits. It's technically still sold by the Coca-Cola company, but it's just pineapple flavoured. They just use the name. And it's only sold in like Caribbean countries.
Shit. Well, what's the point in pineapple?
I don't know. Pineapple drinks are popular in Caribbean countries, I believe. Pineapple and grapefruit stuff. But
well, they did have the lilt
yes.
man there, didn't they?
Here comes the lilt man. Lilt.
It's a totally tropical taste. I always thought that's what Mountain Dew tasted like when I was a kid.
I had Mountain Dew because we went to the local Air Force base where it was an American base, so they had American drinks, so we had actually had Mountain Dew. But it was just very lemonade-y and very, very sweet. Well, you can buy it over here now, so it's,
Yeah, you can, but people moan all the
that's the
time.
American one. It's full of
Well,
high fructose corn syrup, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's full of
Yes,
diabetes.
much like the lilt man, who every morning would bring you a load of sugar to make you ill.
Yeah. So you have your little note out in the morning, what you'd like, 2 pints of lilt and a packet of insulin.
Pouring your lilt into your coffee and onto your cornflakes. Yeah. Lovely.
Yeah.
They didn't think that went through at all, did they? Oh, dear. Well, no, Crackdown 3, genuinely looking forward to that.
You've never had a milkshake before?
God, imagine that. Oh, it curdled just into... Oh. Oh my goodness. Milkshake.
Well, there's a guy on YouTube who makes Mountain Dew ice cream.
Is he dead yet?
I don't know. I think he's mentally ill, but
he's constantly got the shakes better than that. Yeah. Oh dear. But no, after the huge disappointment of Crackdown 2, Crackdown 3 would be nice.
Crackdown 2 was a pile of shit because it's just the first game again. Sort of it's just like one set of missions that you do
literally,
over and over.
Here's Crackdown 1 again, but less of it. It was like Crackdown 0.6 or something, Oh, such a disappointment. But yeah.
I mean, even when Saints Row pulled that shit with Saints Row 2, at least they did some, it was essentially new missions and stuff like that, even though it was the same level layout mostly.
So it was a bit sort of dafter, wasn't it? Which they then did massively for the third one. But yeah, looking forward to that in the hopes they will pull out something good. BioWare have announced a new game, and it's a third-person shooter, isn't it?
That is right, yes. That's
bugger.
Anthem. Because you've got to have some sort of nonsensical one-word game for shooters nowadays.
Like Crenellation. That's going to be my one. It all takes place on top of a castle, presumably. Yeah. That's just didn't look interesting to me at all, to be honest with you.
No, well, when I saw it, I posted on Twitter, and I said it basically looks like a third-person shooter with crisis suits,
and they're flying around everywhere.
Oh, it looked like that's right. It looked like Destiny with crisis suits. That's what I said. It looked like.
Entirely fair. Yep, did not spark any interest in me whatsoever.
And they even made it sound even boring. They put those actors playing other characters in that, and it's like this really boring scripted game.
God, don't you just hate that? Hey, yeah, let's go round the corner. We'll get these guys.
Yes. Where did you get that gun from? I was grinding it on the weekend. I don't care about your sex life, mate.
Sorry.
Get it?
It was expensive DLC, microtransaction, of course. Yeah. I bought 912 loot boxes, and it was in one of them. Dear. And Rare.
The rest of them will give a Genji.
Yeah, watch my spray. It's all just Genji. Yeah. So.
Oh, look, it's making the victory sign again. Yeah, I haven't had that one yet. So.
Rare's new game, Sea of Thieves, has been put back to next year.
And then Ubisoft.
I was going to say, so is Sea of Thieves like an online co-op thing?
Sea of Thieves is, you go around sort of looting and pillaging. In that case,
Ubisoft's Skull and Bones really is dangerously similar, isn't it?
Well, in all fairness, that they have been saying they've been wanting to make a pirating game since Assassin's Creed 4, is it?
It was 4
or 3? 4, yes. Because they've been wanting to make a pirating game there. Which is ironic because most people pirate their games anyway.
What they should have done for irony points is just copied Sea of Thieves and changed the name and re-released it. We're the real pirates here, guys.
Yeah. With the crack pro, couldn't they?
Melon presents.
Yeah. Special thanks to Smorgy and the boys.
Shout out to the Medway boys in automation. Yes.
Yeah.
There's our 16-bit cracking groups, which nobody listening to is going to remember.
Yeah. If you want to try and get yourself arrested and work for a development studio, why not? Call us on this really weird address number that doesn't make sense.
Oh God, yeah, it's always somewhere in Norway with a really strange address, like 4127 Zerbuten 9832 /12 Norway 7 or something.
Yeah.
Oh God, those were the days. And PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds is coming to Xbox One.
That is good. Apparently, it's going to come out to PS4 eventually. It's like a year exclusive. But what do you think of that, then? Because you quite we played what's his name quite a bit together, didn't we?
We did, but
H1Z1.
this seems like that, but more immediate and fun. Yeah,
more arcadey.
Arcadey,
Yeah,
I think is the term actually. I've been watching Brad Woto stream it on Twitch while I've been writing my book sort of in the background, because basically there's no fucking radio anymore. So, and knowing Brad and Liam who play it, it's quite nice because, you know, I do know the people, so you get that extra sort of level of it. But yeah, I really want to have a go at it myself. It looks like a good laugh. We should start our new Twitch channel, Larry and Stu, and then stream a new game twice, and then just do bad ZX Spectrum games and wonder why nobody watches.
That'd be quite. We definitely need to do a streaming channel. I think Let's Play channel, when we finally devolved into the YouTube category thing of getting lazy. So we need to do streaming gaming.
We've always got something to react.
Yeah, we.
Oh dear.
Yes.
But do you know is there going to be cross-play between Xbox One and PC?
I have not heard any information yet. I think it's only they've only officially announced it's Minecraft and that game Rocket League is the only ones.
So they are going to need that really to keep it alive. I do suspect that by the time the PS4 version comes out, everybody will be playing something else. But
that's how it normally works out, isn't it? Yeah, someone else has created some sort of battle royale gaming thing where you shoot each other on a Russian island.
It's on a Russian island. Perhaps there's like a guy who lives on a Russian island who just leases out the names for cheap.
Yeah. Well, there was. Do you remember that Snope a while ago that they actually was going to be a TV show where these people go on this remote island where there's actually no laws or something? It's like out of anyone's jurisdiction when they have to kill each other.
Kill each other for real?
Yeah.
I would see various problems with getting people to sign up for that.
Yeah, I know. So I do like the fact that you can win $50,000, but I don't like the idea of
being shot in the back and then slowly bleeding to death in a forest, isn't?
Yeah. Well, nobody can.
Well, somebody films me. Yes, lovely. Good God. Last point on Microsoft. Did you hear anything about the HoloLens?
No, we're very quiet about it. I've heard on the grapevine that they are thinking of making the Xbox One X compatible with the Oculus Rift. Either that or they're going to make their own one, but they are looking into VR. I do think they realise that HoloLens is actually a sort of lost cause.
It's that sort of Google Glass augmented reality tool thing, isn't it?
Yeah, if you want to look at... So there's a lot easier ways to look at things that aren't really there. I mean,
yes,
like alcohol and drug, than a £500
you can take with you. It might be useful for surgeons or something, but not so much for Minecraft, I don't think. But
it'd be quite good, like like in the video games when you got like a sandbox game when you're trying to get to someone, they put like a line in the street where you got to go. That'd be good for that.
The thing is, it doesn't really have... I think you've pretty much got to be tethered pretty closely to an Xbox, is my understanding of it.
Oh, you're talking about... No, I didn't mean going on the go, mate.
Yes, yeah. So the HoloLens was a bit more portable?
Yeah, I think it was just a Google Glass.
It really
again,
was
so
just
more powerful.
It's conspicuous in its silence, isn't it?
Well, you see how Google abandoned the projects. They didn't see any sort of future in it. Either the technology's not there yet.
A Google Glass turned up in my local CEX.
Well, everything turns up in your local CEX.
If you wait long enough, it kind of does. It was
the contents of my bedroom, you know.
I had to go and buy it back from it. Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was bloody expensive, but I wonder if that would have been something that would have accumulated in value. I suspect not, because somebody will release a much better version along the line, and we shall see. But yeah, that's the end for Microsoft, I think.
So no Halo 6 and no Gears of War 5, so that's quite disappointing, really, because you think... You think with the announced Xbox One X they'd do like an exclusive Halo 6 for it or something to get people to actually want to buy it.
Dangerous position of, hey guys, new hardware. What games you got for it? You know.
Yeah, well, everything with Riesling for it you can play on a regular
Yeah.
Xbox One. So what's the point of getting it? Would it look slightly nicer than a 4K telly?
Yeah.
I don't have one. Well, it's smaller.
Yes. It smells of pine.
It's slightly small. Yeah. It smells of elderberries.
God. Well, let's quickly move on to Bethesda. More Evil Within, more Dishonored, more Wolfenstein, and they're doing that Doom game from last year in VR. There we are. That's Bethesda.
Great. And also, they're also doing Fallout and Skyrim.
God, I've forgotten Fallout VR. Yes, that's the one people are more excited about. But I'm not sure it's the way to go with it, trying to retrofit these AAA games to VR. It's just...
Well, it's because it's old technology. It'd be easier to do than... Because if you make a new game look on VR, it's going to look like shit. So that's why. Because the games are old. And so it's older. You don't need as much power to play them on a modern computer.
There's this huge problem of the locomotion where... you're sitting in a chair and looking around as if it's real, but you're then moving a controller to walk. And, you need something more that works at room scale or, where you're flying something or whatever. You just get that disconnect and then it's not as immersive, and that's the whole bloody point, We don't know. But yeah.
It's a shame. I'm surprised. What I was quite disappointed is they have not announced like a sequel to Rage. I quite enjoyed that.
Big flop, Rage.
I don't think it's done as well. Well, it's got released at the same time as Borderlands. There's something very sort of similar between the two, if you think about it. Really, it's a post-apocalyptic desert wasteland planet that you're trying to loot.
Wasn't there another one released around the same time that really tanked? Like Blink or something, was that? Yeah, was that? Is that the name of it? Or I got it confused with something else. Brink.
Not Brink.
That was it.
Yeah, Wes and I got on the cinema front page with our video moaning about that. Remember that the other day? Yeah, that was made by the some of the people who left Rare to make it, because it looked a bit. The graphics looked a bit like what's his name?
Time Splitters. Yeah.
Time Splitters, yes. Another game that they announced earlier this year and showed absolutely nothing of. Yeah, Time Splitters.
Well, I can tell you that David Doak won't be working on it because he's now a lecturer at the Norwich University of the Arts.
Oh, no. I was going to say he's dead.
I hope not. My mate said he was in the pub with him the other day. That'd be slightly worrying.
Because I shot him in GoldenEye.
Dr. Doak. I've yet to meet him, but apparently he's a very nice bloke. But... he's
I've heard that,
the industry on that sense. I think he's more teaching the next generation.
Moved on. That is nice. That's nice.
So that was Bethesda. That was interesting. Here's a few sequels to things you didn't care that much about. Bye. And some VR games. Of existing games.
So you think you're going to give VR another
Yeah, I've still got
chance?
my HTC Vive set up in the office. But the most fun I had with it are on these little... sort of games, things like Space Pirate Trainer and stuff like that, which is fairly short bursty stuff, but it's so bloody immersive and so fun.
Have you tried Elite Dangerous on it?
My problem with it is in order to read the text you need the super sampling quite high, and on my graphics card in that is, it's good, it's a 980 Ti, but that's not quite up to it, and you need a slightly better one.
I got a 1080.
That is the answer. They give you such a boost for VR stuff.
And my laptop can play it now as well.
Bloody hell.
I got a new Asus laptop, and it's 970M graphics card.
You wouldn't be.
It's capable. It said. It doesn't say it's can do it, but yeah, I'm just amazed that you've done VR from a laptop. Really.
I used to do it for the Oculus DK1, but that was such a low resolution that you didn't really need anything impressive behind it. God. Anyway, more VR from Ubisoft. Or Ubisoft, even.
Ubisoft, sir.
Yeah.
Because you think it's French, but it's not. It's technically Canadian. But...
Well, they should have...
Well, they are French, but they're more Canadian French,
yeah, they've got the VR... what's it called? Transference.
Yeah, well, that little toy thing.
No, Transference is like a VR thing with Elijah Wood. or at least Elijah Wood's on board for the sort of creative.
Virtual Elijah, yeah. Virtual Hobbit, yeah.
Until he tells you to stop and starts crying.
It's like beginning Mario 64.
Yeah. Oh, wee, it's me, Elijah. Remember me. Remember my film, The Ice Storm. Nobody else does.
Yeah.
No, Transference, it looks like a kind of...
I could have been in the Hobbit.
But I was not.
Because my character wasn't born yet. But they could have had me in the...
They had everyone else as a cutscene. Transference.
Fucking Golem was in it.
Benedict Cumberbatch, just like every voice. Oh, dear. No, Transference looks more like a sort of slightly fourth wall breaking-y thing, where it's not quite clear what's real and what isn't, kind of thing. But looks quite intriguing. And they've just released that Star Trek Bridge Crew thing, haven't they?
Yes. I looked at it. Actually, I did pre-order it, but my credit card got cancelled because I entered in the wrong one. So, and I thought, I'll sort it. I don't want to buy it now. It looks all right, but it's. I'm not really a Star Trek fan.
I don't mind Star Trek. It's not something that massively excites me. I like the idea that you're all on the crew and you have to work together to do stuff. But my problem is I find it very hard to take anything like that seriously. So I'd probably just piss. Yeah,
you'd be laughing away. I suppose you ain't got any sort of Dexter and trolling videos.
God, there probably is.
Yeah, well, look at me. I'm Captain Sulu. I'm trying to blow up the ship. Oh, lols. Don't forget to subscribe for a $5 Amazon voucher.
Can we get our likes to 10,000 before the end of the day? Oh, dear. Yeah, so there's that. There's a lot of interesting things that come. They come up with that Skull and Bones that we mentioned earlier. There's that Mario and Rabbids game.
Yeah, just the combination of the world
just together at last. So,
yeah, move over, Sonic.
Next time, Mario and that bloke down the newsagent. The one who's always in there, but you discover doesn't actually work there.
Yeah, Mario and Horace.
Oh, God. Mario's dreaded sentient hat ate Horace's head, which is the reason he looks like that. Oh, dear. Bloody hell, Horace. Yeah, I don't know what to make of that. It's I've forgotten the genre of it. It's an RPG type thing, isn't it?
I didn't really look. I saw it and I thought that looks stupid and just moved on and didn't bother to check.
I'm going to have to look it up now. Mario Rabbids. Kingdom Battle. Oh God, it's apparently turn-based strategy.
So was it going to be? Is it
Julian
Gollop involved with it? Gollop, yeah. Never mind the Gollops. Here comes Julian. Yeah.
Yeah, role-playing video game featuring turn-based combat and elements of exploration.
I would be surprised if he wasn't involved, actually, because he done all the Ghost Recon turn-based games.
That is very true. He's not mentioned here.
And it's actually really good, that 3DS.
I love that game. Yes. I forget the name. Shadow something? Ghost Recon? Yeah.
Shadow, yeah.
Excellent. I mean, I do love a good turn-based game, and Gollop really does have it down to an art, doesn't he? Have you played Chaos Reborn?
Is that the new one, the recent one? I haven't, no. I forgot all about that, actually. I've still played the original Chaos and Spectrum.
It's fantastic. Used to... I had the Atari ST version, which had loads of audio clips from sitcoms.
Oh, okay. But it
was nearly entirely Red Dwarf, yes. Yes!
Marvellous.
Absolutely splendid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dwing, Dibbly! Dwing!
Happy Halloween, ladies. That's another one.
Smoke me a kipper.
Yeah, that might be interesting. If it's got some turn-based in it, I might be up for a bit. It'll probably be a bit on the simple side, don't know. But hey, it's not out yet, so who knows? And good God, they actually announced and showed some of Beyond Good and Evil 2.
Oh wow! So it actually
absolutely
exists,
does
it?
Yeah. The graphics looking quite astonishing. Excuse me.
I'll have to look into that. No, I said earlier, but they got that new sort of. They're dipping their toe into sort of the Skylanders.
Oh,
thing
Starlink
now.
Battle for Atlantis. Not Atlantis, Atlas.
Yes.
Sorry. Yeah, with sort of little spaceships.
Yeah, and you stick it on the top of your joypad, and sort of you can click on guns and shields.
That's
and
quite nice.
like
There's a bit more interactivity, isn't there?
It reminds me of that thing from the 80s they tried to do. You remember that thing? You had a big spaceship that looked like it's a gun.
Captain Power.
Pistol
you
at the front.
shoot at the television, yeah.
That's it, yes. Yeah, it
Here's
reminds
a
me
weird
of that.
fact for you. Captain Power was written by J. Michael Straczynski, who went on to create Babylon 5. He also used to write for the old He-Man cartoon, The Masters of the Universe. Captain Power is a really weird thing, because it's such an obvious... here's some archetypal people that we'll make toys of kind of thing. But he actually wrote sort of quite nuanced stuff for it. It's a really weird series. And terrible special effects. But yeah, you would move your toy spaceship in front of the television, and at certain points it'd make noises or something.
Yeah.
That was a staple of the Argos catalogue for years, that one, wasn't it?
Did they ever show the show over here then?
I don't remember seeing even a second of it.
No, I don't remember it. I mean, they must have given away the VHSs with it.
Yes, one of them did. I think the spaceship did come with a VHS.
Because it's one of those toy lines they put over here, but they died instantly because they never showed the TV
absolutely.
series.
And yet Argos had them. Well, they probably bought a lot of stock for years. I've got a couple of the figures. They're fairly well put together. They're not particularly well sculpted, but they're not bad,
Because they did that. What's that Thundercats follow-up they did? Silverhawks. They released the toys of that over here. That TV series never come on.
See Silverhawks toys over here for that reason. Because, as you say, no cartoon tie-in.
I remember I got given a Silverhawks roller coaster toy set. It's like a sort of a cheapo shop called Anything Goes, and you can get like budget shop stuff in there. And I got a roller coaster Silverhawks, which is quite weird because for years I thought it was Eagle Riders, but it turned out to be Silverhawks.
Is Eagle Riders a thing?
Eagle Riders is basically Battle of the Planets without seven.
So closer to the original Science Ninja Team Gatchaman.
Yeah, basically they re-edited it and called it Eagle Riders.
Interesting.
So yeah. So more digressing. I'm about 80s anime.
One of our favourite subjects. But yeah, Beyond Good and Evil 2. Yeah, good game. Hopefully, first one was good.
Yes.
And yeah, that Starlink thing, the spaceship. The spaceships make more sense to me because a lump of a spaceship is still just a spaceship, and you can run around with it going etc. Whereas the Skylanders were just kind of statues, weren't they? And
yeah, they're little statues and that. Yeah. Well, they tried doing the things that you could take the bodies, the torsos off, and replace them with something else. So you could have like one bottom, one top.
Yes, and the latest ones were create your own thing and get a 3D print or something, weren't they?
I know, Chris Chan's got one.
Oh, I think so. He made one of Sonichu.
No, they're not that blind to copyright infringement.
Oh dear.
And they got a new Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed Origins.
Yep.
Yes. Which is ironic, really, because in the early days of Assassin's Creed, Ubisoft said they would never, ever set an Assassin's Creed game in either Egypt or feudal Japan.
So this is Egypt with feudal Japan DLC, presumably?
Yeah, probably, yeah. Or it's the next one's going to be feudal Japan.
But yeah, it's just more Assassin. They really overshot Assassin's Creed. It was like bloody FIFA at one point.
Yeah, well, that's the point. Everyone got burnt out. I mean, they didn't release one last year, but they had the movie come out instead. Which
really, I honestly think it's one of the worst films I've ever seen at the cinema. Yeah, I actually felt insulted by it.
Have you ever left?
No, I genuinely wish I had that, just because it was so dumb and boring. And up its own arse, and every line of dialogue was delivered like, this is the most important thing in the universe, except Jeremy Irons, who was allowed to speak like a normal human, which then drove home how bizarre the line intonations were for everybody else,
It's a shame, really. I really like Michael
superb
Fassbender.
And Assassin's Creed's a fucking... I mean, I know we've had a lot of, games, a lot of them unnecessary, blah, 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 but it's a great idea, and it's a really interesting property, and it deserves to be done a lot better than that film did. There's no two ways about that, really.
Exactly, yeah. What would you reckon was better than out of that and the
I've never
Prince
seen
of
the
Persia
Prince of
movie?
Persia movie, so I can't comment.
Oh, okay.
I heard it was pretty ropey, though.
Yeah, that's got Jake Gyllenhaal in there, which
had
is
its
a
own
bit weird.
set of Lego models and play sets.
Yeah, I know, they're worth quite a fortune.
Because even
now,
Lego
them things.
pretend they don't exist. I've got an encyclopedia of minifigures, and it glosses over the whole Prince of Persia and Lone Ranger.
Yeah, I gotta say Lone Ranger.
Well, they can't always back a winner, and as they currently make sets out of bloody everything, almost literally for Dimensions.
They got Lego Schindler's List coming soon.
All the figures are grey, apart from that little girl with the symbolic red balloon. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh god, Lego Dimensions, necromantic. Yes, it's going to be.
Yeah.
Oh, moving swiftly on.
Lego the Texas.
Yeah, there's also The Crew 2 and Far Cry 5 and.
Oh, I don't give a shit about The Crew. The first one was boring. I mean, this is what the team who made Driver made it, and I just think, what is the weirdest thing about Ubisoft games is they are literally the McDonald's of the sort of gaming world, where everybody gets excited about this thing coming out, but as soon as it's here, nobody gives a shit about it.
For me, the Ouya was the ultimate thing for that, because everyone was excited for the Kickstarter and the crowdfunding, going, "Oh my god, it's like a little Android box that you can plug into your television." Then they got it and they went, "But it's just an Android box that plugs into your television. It's rubbish." Yeah, to be fair to them, they didn't misrepresent it at any stage. You were all excited because that's what it was. Then when you got it, you didn't want it.
Well, they were late with it. I mean, it was so late, far behind. I mean, everybody had moved on to Tegra 4 technology, and that was a Tegra 3. So
that probably doesn't help.
So it was underpowered when
it
came.
A bit shite when I looked at it. But,
well, you managed to buy an X?
That was that again. The local CEX just had a Kickstarter box in there for £50. Yeah, thought
you got to feel sorry for the poor person who sold it. Though I mean, they put all that money into getting the special Kickstarter edition, and they're heartbroken. They gave it away straight away because
£30 to the second-hand shop.
Yeah, 20p. They sold it to
isn't it?
A couple of bloody but they also had the game stick, and that was even worse.
Oh, that was... Oh, my God, I thought that was like a no-mark, cheapy manufactured thing. I didn't realise it was like a proper...
No, it's done, I think, Play Jam. I think it was made by them. But, it was terrible. Well, basically, it was so enclosed that you had to pay for everything. I mean, even some of the demos on the thing you had to buy. So every single thing you had to pay for on that box.
Speaking of boxes, do you know what I found the other day? My OnLive console. That's going to be really useful.
I know. I got. They sent. I bought somebody stuck that. They gave them away Eurogamer, didn't they? Yeah, I bought one of somebody sold it off eBay, and then OnLive wrote to me and said, "Would you like one?" I said, "All right." And then they gave me another joypad as well, so I could have two people playing on that one. So I got 3 joypads. The good thing is they're actually Bluetooth joypads, so you can actually use them on a PC. You just need to buy a little Bluetooth dongle for 50p off eBay.
Bluetooth. That's it. I did not realise that. They didn't seem like bad controllers either.
Yeah. No, they're quite nice. They're really nice controllers, actually. They're really sort of well built and stuff like that, and got nice rumbles in it. So, you definitely use it for that. So it's not completely obsolete.
The kind of the console is, because the whole service is turned off, isn't it?
Oh. It's a shame, really, because I really liked it, actually. I got pissed off that I bought Colin McRae Rally off there, and then one day it just wasn't on my collection anymore. And the thing is that in the terms and conditions that they're allowed to take it off their servers anytime you want. So you're paying to rent something, paying 40 quid to rent a game. Period. Yeah. Well, they said 2 years guarantee. They said, but it wasn't 2 years of my one. It was like a year and a half at most. I mean, luckily I only paid 50p for it, so there's no like skin off my neck.
The thing that always disappointed me about it was it was supposed to have all the games in high settings and that. It bloody didn't for a lot of them. It varied massively from game to game, but I remember trying to play Unreal Tournament 3 and it was just really muddy. Like, you couldn't really see what was going on.
Oh, yeah. Well, some of the slow-paced games work quite well. I had Dear Esther.
That makes sense, well, yeah, because, walking simulator.
And the ball. You know that one where you had a giant metal ball you have to sort of push around?
Yeah.
That was quite good, actually. I'm surprised I never put that on console. But that was quite a good game, that was.
Yeah, bloody.
Very sort of trying to tap into the whole Portal.
Isn't Sony bringing back a sort of streaming service for games?
They have PlayStation Now.
Have you tried it?
Or since they're all PlayStation 3 games, it should be PlayStation then. But
does it actually work better than on Live did?
I've not played it because I don't like the idea. Half the games I've got already, and sort of like if they had ridiculous rental fees in the early days that you could rent a game for 30 days and pay 25 quid for it, and that was ridiculous. Or it was the minimum price is you could play it for 3 hours for $2.99. So £1 an hour playing a game. But luckily they saw sense in that and they turned it into a monthly subscription thing like Netflix. I mean, Netflix would have bombed if you could only rent one movie on there.
Hell, that's ridiculous. But there still has that weakness behind it. But a lot of people don't have that great an internet connection.
No. There's another service called Utomic now on PC that you can rent games to download them to your PC and play them. But that does rely on your personal graphics card being strong enough.
The great thing about the OnLive model is, you can play it on the cheapest laptop in the world as long as it's got a good internet connection.
Well, you could play it on an old cheapy old Android tablet.
Yeah, absolutely. Prop it up, connect a bloody Bluetooth controller to it, and away you go. But
fortunately, I only had an iPad back then. Apple wouldn't let you do that. You could only watch people playing on it. You couldn't play it yourself. So completely pointless. It's the world's most expensive Let's Play channel,
God. I think that's about it for Ubisoft. Yeah, Crew 2, Far Cry 5, which is going to be more Far Cry, and
I did like the idea of Far Cry 5.
Yeah, it's an interesting way to take it.
Bit, what's his name? Deliverance. Yeah.
Yeah, it's more interesting. I think 4 was a bit of a stumble in the sense that it felt a bit too much like 3.
It did, yeah. And also it's a bit over the top as well. I think it was a bit too wacky. I mean, you could believe... I think 3 had a better villain.
That's the thing. I think Far Cry is very... much like Batman and James Bond, is a bit sort of driven by the villain, isn't it? And
yeah. And Far Cry 4, I mean... The thing is, he seemed like quite a nice bloke, really, isn't it? So you couldn't really hate him if he kept being nice to you all the time.
Min?
So
he did feel a bit like a sort of attempt to recreate some parts of Faz, and they went another way, and
he just looks like one of the YouTube vloggers as well.
Hey, it's your boy Pagan Min. £5 Amazon voucher giveaway if you don't shoot all my henchmen. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I do love the idea, though.
Oh! I'll tell you one thing. My friend told me that the other day. His daughter watches. His 2-year-old daughter watches loads of YouTube videos all the time and that. And he tucked her up to bed one night and he said good night. And she turned around and said, "Don't forget to subscribe." God, she thought that's how you say goodbye to people. She keeps saying, "Don't forget to subscribe to people" when they say goodbye to her.
Oh my God, you shouldn't be letting a 2-year-old watch YouTube anyway. You might catch some footage of anything that's on YouTube.
Well, Wes does that, and Wes does that with his daughter, and he says he found her sticking her Disney toys into Play-Doh, so burying them in it because she saw it on a YouTube channel.
Oh, is that where they just have a lump of Play-Doh? And then they pull the Play-Doh away and show you the Disney toy they've stuck in it. Yeah.
Yeah. And it gets 15 million views.
It's something about that latches into the kids' sense of mystery, and it's going to be something I'm into at the end. Like these channels.
So this is where you're going wrong, Stuart. This is going wrong. Stick a pop station in there. You bring them back, stick them in Play-Doh, maybe a bit of plasticine to.
Here's me opening 15
million views.
Oh god, that would be quite a cool video. But the problem is, it costs so much for the Kinder eggs. I'd have to make another 5 videos to pay for them.
Oh, look, it's that little bloody Mexican man again.
Do you know, I found this morning a PK sticker on the back of a piece of furniture I was moving. And it is a Kinder one as well.
Was it
absolutely,
one of yours as a kid?
Yeah.
I just remember opening it up, you just see that green triangle.
Yes, PK!
Oh my God. Yeah, another bloody
He was definitely the most popular of the World Cup mascots by a country mile, wasn't he? Everybody wanted that Kinder PK.
Well, it's because he's... When everybody got to
be fair to them, they weren't like stringing the kids along saying, "Oh, you might get a loot drop." It's like you've got about a 1 in 3 chance of getting him in anything.
Yeah.
Oh dear. I'll send you a photo afterwards just to prove my PK exists.
Oh, yes, please.
Yeah.
We'll put it up on screen so everybody could see what a green Mexican.
I was moving a piece of furniture. It's just stuck on the wall behind it. It's astonishing. On some hideously old wallpaper. Oh dear. Well, all we've got left now is the mighty Electronic Arts.
Yes, it's in the game. As long as it's not DLC.
EA Sports. It's not in the game anymore.
As long as you're prepared to pay an extra 40 quid for the season
which brings
pass.
us to I've only got 2 games written for them actually, and the first is the perfect example of a game which was like a quarter of a fucking game. Battlefront, Star Wars Battlefront, which was such a huge step backwards from the previous game. It was unbelievable. But this Battlefront 2, it looks like they're actually doing it properly.
Well, it's good, really, because the first one, it was fun for the first hour, and then it suddenly dawns on you, is this all there is? And the answer is yes, there is. That is. But it was so simplified, which annoyed me. I mean, you didn't even have a reload button to the guns.
It was so... I mean, it was heavily dumbed down, massively feature lacking. It just wasn't even a quarter of the game that Battlefront 2 was, as in the first Battlefront 2,
I think they're extremely stingy on vehicles.
You couldn't even get in them or anything. You just had to get like a power up, and then you'd fly around in one for a bit.
Yeah, it was just total luck that you get a vehicle in that game. And so even Stingy was trying to be one of the heroes.
Oh God, yes.
As well. And it's always bloody given to some idiot who gets himself killed in the first 5 seconds, and so wasted.
Now the team's going to lose, but nobody cares because it's so dumbed down anyway.
Do you remember that time Luke Skywalker was stepped on by an AT-AT?
That's the director's cut of Empire Strikes Back. It lasts 23 minutes. It's tragic. It looks like, well, at the very least, they're marketing it as if they've basically fixed it, and they're putting loads of content and proper vehicles and all sorts of gubbins that should actually be fun.
I heard some actual campaigns. I mean, they did really, really well with Battlefield 1, all the sort of campaigns with that. As I'm hoping that's going to extend onto that, sort of little missions you keep doing, like rush mode and stuff like that. They never had that in Battlefront. It's just one-on-one action most of the time, or capture the flag sort of thing and then move on.
And they've certainly got a one-player story mode that looks quite highly developed, where you play some indoctrinated Imperial Special Forces type who doesn't really know what to do after the Death Star blows up with the Emperor on it. Yeah.
Just go home.
Right.
That's what I do. So, yeah. Fuck this shit. I'm not getting myself killed for nobody now. I'm going home.
Gonna go home, maybe watch a film or two, catch up on a box set. Yep. Maybe that's the game.
Yeah, see the stuff. The crew, see the... We're back home in time for life, Dave.
I'm going to hug a Wookiee. It's going to be the best.
Yeah.
I can get that foot spa that I got for Christmas I've never used. Give that a shot. Yes, it's going to be wonderful. Oh, dear me. So, yeah, fingers crossed for that. And they've got a new, quite interesting game, a cooperative prison break game called A Way Out.
Oh, yeah. I saw that. It does. It's all the sort of split screen stuff, a bit like 24 going on, aren't they? Sort of, you can see what the other person's doing. So the other person's watching a cutscene while you're walking about in it and stuff like that. And the only downside to this is like forced co-op as well, that you can't play the game on your own. So if you haven't got any friends, it's a waste
one of those internet-only games. I reckon that's anything like that tends to be very big for game streamers, doesn't it? So I reckon that'll be all over Twitch.
Well, even then, they like to play on their own more than anything.
Yeah, that's true.
You don't really get them playing together.
Things
people.
like they tend to be more cooperative. Not cooperative. Non-cooperative. That's the word. That's good.
Adversarial.
Yes, let's go for that one.
Yeah, that's the one.
That's true, actually. Yeah, they may have like a mate on their team on PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, but it's still Battle Royale, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Or they might have one of the fans from the stream or something. Somebody's donated to their Patreon at least £5 billion.
That reminds me, must start a Patreon. Minimum level, £5 billion.
Yeah. Well, that's spoony, that is.
Yeah, but he's been putting out a lot of video.
$750 a month to talk about Trump and wrestling.
As in
on Twitter.
President Trump or just farts?
What, a bit of both, really. I mean...
Patreon. We're all going to have one before too long, though. Bloody hell. The way the ads are going on YouTube. Well, that's something to look forward to, anyway. Let's end on a high note.
So, overall, I thought it was rather dull this year. To be honest,
it was nice to get details with the Xbox One X, but no games.
Oh, Days Gone. They showed more of the footage of that game that's a bit like The Last of Us with the bloke on the motorbike.
Oh, God, I'd forgotten about that. When's Scalebound coming out?
Yeah.
That was a shame they cancelled that, actually. It did genuinely look quite interesting.
Well, I heard they've uncancelled it, but somebody else is going to take over now or something.
That is interesting.
I don't know if it's true. Maybe it's sort of rumours again, but yeah. But they went that far of it. Concept's been bought by Level 5.
Oh.
As well.
That is interesting.
So, yeah, obviously they thought some potential in a company who pisses away $3 million on a Mega Man knockoff. So.
Oh, God. I suppose we haven't mentioned Activision directly, but I mean, it's just Destiny 2 and, well,
Call of Duty
World War II, yeah, as everybody expected, I think.
Who they insist is definitely not a reaction to Battlefield 1's popularity.
No. To be fair, didn't Call of Duty start off as a World War II game?
Well, Call of Duty started off as Medal of Honor when they split off from Activision. Was it Activision?
Yes.
No, Medal of Honor from EA. They split off from EA to make Call of Duty. They make loads of games. Then they got pissed off Activision and then went back to EA to make Titanfall. Which bombed.
Sequel, though, didn't they?
It did. Nobody played it, though, because they had a genius idea to release it the same week as Call of Duty and Battlefield 1. Yeah.
Blimey. I've got Titanfall 2, and it did cost me like £4. Really short time after it's released as well. Xbox One.
What was that for? Oh, okay. There you go. It's got a good single-player game.
I must have a go at that at some point. It was one of those sort of impulse purchases. And still 100 times more than I paid for my Tremors HD DVD. Well, that's that then. Yeah, not the most exciting of years.
Yes, it's a bit of a come down. Well, the thing is, there's no hardware out this year. I mean, last year we had the PSVR to look forward to and the PS4 Pro, technically. But then, I mean, we got the Scorpio, Xbox One X, X1, X1, X1.
Can't wait for that.
Yeah. But, yeah, it's just like I said, it's just more of the same. There was nothing... They never pulled anything out of the bag that went, wow.
It was nice to have Beyond Good and Evil 2 announced. That's about all I can say, really. I mean, there was interesting stuff potentially in the Nintendo one, but it's all such early days. They could have said bloody anything. Dr. Mario VR. It doesn't matter because it's 40 years before it comes out. Yeah.
So, it's quite disappointing this year, sadly.
I agree. I think what I'm going to do is give up video games and start playing drafts.
That's a good idea. Or just watching Bob Hoskins movies.
Is there a movie where Bob Hoskins plays drafts?
Maybe there's a deleted scene from Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
I don't know what I said, but it just kicked off Siri on my phone. And apparently asked Siri, Hoskins place draft.
What did it say?
No, it didn't know what the fuck I was talking about. That's weird, because I'm pretty sure I've got that turned off. So, Bob Hoskins is now... his spirit has invaded my phone. Mario put his hat on my phone.
Better than Mario's.
It now demands to be referred to as a blower at all times. Oh, dearie me.
Well, yes. Well, thank you very much for watching this 2017 edition of our E3 podcast. Tune in again another 365 days for our 2018 thing where we're slightly disappointed about Halo 6 probably being announced and stuff like that, and Shenmue not being
Crackdown 3 still not being out because it's been put back, and we're still wondering where the HoloLens has gone. That's what I reckon.
Yeah, and we get excited to see more footage of Days Gone.
Oh, dearie me. Right. Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.